Hey guys, Adam back with Tech Secrets Revealed. Today we're going to show you how to upgrade or replace your Wi-Fi card inside your laptop. Nowadays, these come in three different sizes that I'm aware of. One of them is PCI Express, but you're probably not going to see that very often because it's on the bigger side. You might see it on some older Dell business laptops, some of the Latitude series, maybe some of the IBM ThinkPads from back in the day, but that's about it. Uh, More than likely, the ones you're going to see now are PCI Express half height that look like this. They're about the size of a postage stamp. Or if you have an Ultrabook or a Chromebook or any of those little, micro super thin laptops, they have now come out with M2 Wi-Fi cards, which basically look exactly the same as this, but they're half the size. The one thing that you need to do before we dive into any of this is you need to go to the manufacturer website for whatever one you bought. More than likely it's going to be Intel or Realtek. I think Broadcom still makes some stuff, but not very much anymore. They're really more likely Bluetooth nowadays. What you're going to want to do is go into Google, and first of all, you're going to need to know what kind of operating system you have. I'll show you in the next part of the video how to find out that if you don't already know if it's 32 or 64-bit, because that's going to be important. What you're going to want to do is you're going to look on the PCIe card right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's blurry as hell because this is, a wonderful laptop. But right there, there will be a model number, and it's very important that you get every single number and letter because the drivers are different. And once you put this in your laptop, if you don't already have the drivers downloaded and installed, you're kind of going to be out of luck because you can't go on the internet at that point to find new ones because you have no Wi-Fi. So right now, I'm going to show you how to install. This is an Intel Wireless AC 7260. I have already downloaded the drivers and installed them, but I'll show you the process anyway. So here we go. Okay, so as I said before, you're going to want to download the drivers for whatever wireless card that you're putting in and install them before it comes. I would recommend not installing them until you're about to change the Wi-Fi driver because it could potentially cause conflict and problems with your current Wi-Fi adapter. If you have a Wi-Fi adapter that's broken already, then obviously it doesn't matter. But as you can tell by looking down here, my current Wi-Fi adapter works fine. The reason that I'm upgrading it is because I'm spoiled and I want one that has Bluetooth in it. If you look over here, these are the Wi-Fi drivers from Intel and these are the Bluetooth drivers from Intel. If you have a Wi-Fi card that only has Wi-Fi, you're not going to need the Bluetooth, obviously, but you do have to install both of them if you get a card that has integrated Bluetooth. As mentioned before, you're going to need to know whether you have a 32-bit or 64-bit system, and the way you're going to find that out on Windows 10 is you're going to hit Start, and you're going to go down to, like we haven't seen this 10 times already, go to Windows System, Control Panel, go to System, and go to System again. Right here, nice and easy, probably the only thing they make easy. System type, 64-bit operating system, x64 base processor. Usually on Intel's website or Realtek, you'll see the same driver and the file name is pretty much identical. The only thing that's different is one's for 64-bit and one's for 32-bit. You really don't need to worry about accidentally installing a 32-bit for a 64 or vice versa, because usually what will happen is that the installation will fail if it's for the wrong operating system. So it's not like you can accidentally install this and then you're out of luck. Like I said, I've already installed my drivers, so hopefully with any luck, once we install this, it'll automatically pick it up and install the drivers. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do, basically for anything that requires opening the laptop, is remove the battery. That is number one. Before you touch anything, do anything, look at anything, sweet talk anything, take the battery out. Second thing is, hope you guys can see this, you're going to want to hold the power button down for literally 20 seconds. The reason why is sometimes there can be a static charge still built up on the motherboard, and even though you've removed all the power sources, like the AC adapter is not plugged in obviously, and you've removed the battery, there still can be a residual charge and you can short something out and then you'll have a really pretty looking paperweight. So now that it's been 20 seconds, I'll flip it back over. 9 times out of 10, at least with normal laptops, not the Ultrabooks, this panel right here is what you would take out to upgrade RAM or upgrade the hard drive, any other stuff, whatever. So I don't know if you can see really. I'm not going to zoom in because this camera sucks at life, but there's a little logo here that looks like a radio tower, and that means Wi-Fi, and then there's a little thing here that looks like a chip, and that means RAM. So that tells me that everything I got to do right now is right under this. So I'm going to take these 3 screws out, depending on the laptop. Some of them come all the way out, other ones have little locking nuts underneath so that you can't lose them. Dell, I think that's like the only thing that they do correctly, is they like to put those little lock nuts on. Okay. Now that we got this open, let's see if I can position this better. There's your Wi-Fi card right there. Now, you're going to have to pay attention to where these wires are. There should be one white and one black, or you might have just one black. I know that my Dell, Latitude E6510 has a white, a gray, and a black. Just make note of which is on the left, which is on the right, etc., because if you don't do that, you're going to have problems when you plug it back in. So, there's one little screw right there that holds this on. With some of them you might have 2, but it's rare. It's usually just 1. Some, I guess they save like 3.5 cents by not putting 2 in. So you're going to want to take that screw out. Okay, now, well, there's the screw and my, wonderful shaky hands. They have these tiny little clips on the end of these wires. I'm going to put you back down. All I'm going to tell you is pull them off. Don't use any tools if you can help it. You can use tweezers if you need to, but honestly, just tug on them very gently and they'll usually come off, because the plugs on the ends of these are very fragile, and I've already had to disassemble one of them in the past and then put it all back together with a tiny little gold thing in the middle, and it's not fun. So if you can save yourself the hassle, trust me, try to. So I want to pull this up and just gently pull the card out. Now, like I said with these plugs, just get your nail under the edge of them and pull very, very gently. They don't really take much strength to get them off or anything, and you don't want to yank them off hard anyway, because then you're going to have a problem. There's the white one, and here comes the black one, hopefully in one piece. Okay. So there's your old Wi-Fi card. Nice and simple. This one was an Intel Centrino Advanced, and Centrino in Intel speak basically means Fisher Price. So if you see anything that sells Centrino processors, anything like that, just avoid it at all costs. So here's our new card. 9 times out of 10, as you can see, they both have 2 plugs here. Usually I haven't run into this yet being a problem, so I mean, you might have to experiment, but 9 times out of 10, wherever the black and white plugs were on the old one is where they go on the new one. So I would suggest putting these on before you put the card back in, because it's really not fun to do it the other way. You just line them up, make sure they're centered, because there is a little delicate prong in the middle that you can break, and just push. Doesn't take much. Got the black one in, and got the white one in. There we go. Now you're going to want to just stick it back in here the way the other one was. You stick it back in on an angle, and you're going to push it back down. While you're holding it down, put that one little screw back in. Again, sorry this is kind of blurry, but hopefully enough of you people will watch where I can get a new camera. Then we put the panel back on. Oh, and I would double check just to make sure. They don't usually come off on their own very easily, but just double check that these are firm. And if you have these little plastic protectors here, make sure that they're slid up so there's no metal on metal short, because you'll have all kinds of fun when you apply more power to the laptop. So you're going to want to put this panel back in. Now, there are a lot of snaps. Sometimes they kind of fight you, so don't be afraid to just kind of tap it a little bit to get it down. Tighten these screws. And if anybody wants to send me a gift of a nice little mini screwdriver drill set thing, so I don't have to sit here like we're Amish, that would be really nice, and I would not refuse it. Then we're going to put the battery back in. I'm going to flip it back over, and we're going to power it back on, which is the next part of this video. Okay, so we're back with the system back on. The only thing that may happen, which it honestly is rare, is sometimes you'll get an error the next time you turn on the laptop with a black screen that says that there's a, I think it says something along the lines of either a Bluetooth device or a media device installed that's not supported. The only way that that really happens is if you install the wrong manufacturer. The way you can avoid that is if your system automatically had an Intel or a Realtek installed, then you would try to stay with the same manufacturer. For instance, if you had a motherboard that had a Realtek installed, don't try to put in an Intel, because then you're not going to have fun. The other thing is, if you notice down here, mine happened to be saved in a different area, but most of the time you'll see this and it won't be connected to anything. The reason why is on some of the cards anyway, the network passwords are stored on the card itself. So since you put in a new card, the network passwords are gone and it has no idea how to connect to your Wi-Fi. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure you know how to do that already. So, click on your Wi-Fi, put in your password, whatever. I got lucky. This automatically picked it up. That will usually happen if you've already installed the drivers. If you haven't installed the drivers and it's giving you a problem and it can't recognize it, then what you're going to want to do is click on Start, go down to Windows System again, open Control Panel, and go in Hardware and Sound. Go in Device Manager, and if any of you have watched any previous videos, you know the shortcut for Device Manager in Windows 10. Now let's see. Okay, here it is. Intel Dual Band Wireless AC 7260. It picked it up automatically. If you're having a problem, it will more than likely have a yellow exclamation point where it'll say something to the effect of unknown network adapter or something like that. If that's the case, what you would do is right-click and click Update Driver. Then click Search automatically for drivers. Usually it will find it if you've already installed it. It may take a few minutes, but usually that's what will happen. If not, what I would suggest is reinstalling the drivers and restarting the computer. If that still doesn't work, it's kind of involved, and I would cover it in another video, but you guys can comment or message me if you do have that issue, and I'll explain to you how to get it to work anyway. Now I said I wanted to have something that has Bluetooth. Well, you click down here, turn on Bluetooth, and let's see. Go to Settings. We do have devices in the house, so see if it finds anything. Actually, you know what? Hold on one second. Well, I guess I'll test it later, but my Bluetooth headphones are not here, so let's see if I can find anything else in the house. Well, it finds unknown devices because I would have to install drivers for whatever these two things are, but the fact that it's finding devices means that the Bluetooth radio is active, so we're good to go. Alright, so there you have it. It's pretty simple stuff, and to be perfectly honest, a good reason to do this is I've seen on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, Let Go, OfferUp, I've seen plenty of laptops where people have said, oh, works perfectly fine, the Wi-Fi just stopped working one day, I don't know why. And they go, oh, it's a shame, otherwise great laptop. So they're selling an excellent computer for peanuts because they think that the Wi-Fi is some big thing to fix. Whether it's your laptop or if you see one like that, now you know that, these cards range between $11 and $30 depending on the features that you want it with. If you don't care about 5 gigahertz internet, you want single band and no Bluetooth, you can pick up a new Wi-Fi card for like $9. This one was 21, I believe, because it is dual band, it is wireless AC, and it does have Bluetooth 4.0 in it. So still definitely much better than $700 for a new laptop. All right, till next time, I guess you got any questions, comment. Thanks for watching.